welcome to Nerdy For. I'm Amy Brown. This is the podcast where I ask interesting people what they're nerdy for. Today we have a very interesting person. I reached out on the internet to strangers, and I have a stranger in my costume closet, and he's a strong one because he is a member of the 300.
Yes, I am.
Okay, explain what exactly is the 300?
So the 300's a group of people that got together over 15 years ago to cosplay as the characters from the movie 300. And so from there, they all went to Dragon Con, and it just kept building and building. And now there's a committee, there are bylaws to follow. So there's a whole process, and it's been a lot of fun.
I like how you guys made working out more about the back room, doing paperwork and making sure everyone has bylaws.
Yeah.
Okay, and then say your full name.
Joshua Jarmin.
And then do you have a personal Instagram that people follow you?
I used to be a personal trainer, so I have it called Jarmin_fitness. Jarmin's Jarmin.
Okay. And I started watching the 300 movie.
Oh, okay. You never seen it before?
I had never seen it before.
Okay.
We didn't have cable where I grew up. And so there's two of them. Mm-hmm. And I got halfway through the first one, and the boy was just getting beaten up a lot.
Oh, that was at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, and I took my son to college this weekend, so I had to stop.
Yeah.
Leave that poor boy alone. He's going to have to go to college. It's going to be awful.
Pretty much.
So can you sum it up really quick for people who don't have time to watch the 300?
Zack Snyder's the director. He's a visually amazing director. And the movie is a very comic book variation, very graphic version of the graphic novel called The 300, based on what really did happen over 2,000 years ago in Greece in the battle for Thermopylae, I believe. And it really was about 300 roughly Spartans that went to hold off invading Persian forces. So, and then they all did die. It's a very famous battle throughout history. And that it was kind of
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so 300 people to face the million. I mean, exaggerated numbers, but it's definitely seen. I was in the military myself, and it's definitely one of those stories you hear about, wow, badass, and dying for the last man. It's in a weird pseudo macho guy thing. It's kind of cool, but you look back okay, that was nice. Move on.
And it was all this politics and land back then.
Oh yeah, a lot of politics. Well, the funny thing was the way the movie portrays the ancient Persians makes them look like super evil monsters, and the Greeks like these superheroes. And I love reading history, and the truth is, it was kind of the opposite. The Persians didn't really have many slaves, whereas the Spartans did. The Persians were very open to theologies and different forms of thought and commerce and so much, whereas the Greeks were very more regimented. So it's a little fantastical view of how it really went down.
That's I love it that you know the history part of it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
that little backstory.
That's the other nerdy thing I'm about, not just cosplaying, but I like reading about history.
I like watching YouTube videos about history.
Those are helpful too.
Completely accurate,
especially
I'm sure.
the infographic ones.
I like the parts where they're and then the aliens came. I'm oh god damn it! I just invested 15 minutes into this history YouTube, and it's made up.
Yeah, those ones I love because I've gotten into sci-fi novels, which is the other geek thing I've gotten into the last few years. And whenever there's something involving aliens, I'm kind of make it interesting. And some of them are good. I don't know, they're pretty solid.
That's fun. Okay. Just real quick, to put a bow on the 300 thing that I was watching. It's very grayscale. There's they're doing all of the video with a lens on it, and it's I think that's probably an homage to the graphic novel.
Probably they did say it's the closest
book
thing. It was kind of like most people take comic books and turn them into movies. The director Zack Snyder basically wanted to do the reverse. He wanted to take a movie and turn it to make it look more like a comic book. So that's, I guess, probably explains why he did it the way he did. But it's cool. It's a visually stunning movie.
Did it come out before or after The Matrix?
After. It came out in 2006, 2007.
Okay, so because I feel like that was the first real tip of the hat to making a movie look like it's from a cartoon.
Possibly. I mean, most people would say I kind of vouch for it, where he did a few years later, Zack Snyder did The Watchmen, which is was based on another comic book. That was another example where he took a movie and made it look more like the graphic novel comic book. These were not for kid type comic books. These are very much for adults.
Very serious. The music was serious.
Yeah.
Everything was gray.
Yeah.
And I was already crying, so I was I can't watch this right now. Yeah. Okay, but the guys in it, the the takeaway as a lady of a certain age, I noticed they were all ripped.
Yep.
And I think abs were some of the main characters in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. People say they were spray painted on. I'm like, you still got to be in good enough shape to make them look a certain way. But like the spray paint can help a little bit. But like even we'll do some contouring when we're at our gym getting the pump on before we do our reveal night. That's in the
You have a reveal night?
Yeah.
Tell me some more.
Okay, so it's one of the in the downtown hotels in Atlanta at the Marriott, the Hilton, and the Hyatt is where we do what's called our reveal night. And that's every Friday at Dragon Con starting around 7 p.m. And for about 2 hours, we tour the hotels and we just take formations, we say the lines, people take photos. It's a big showstopper. Like people clear out of the way, thousands of people, and they stop and stare and watch and chant and cheer, and it's a lot of fun.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I like the pageantry.
Yeah, we basically get together an hour prior and we do what's called like the pre-reveal pump, and we go to one of the gyms in the hotels and we are like in our costumes working out, like throwing baby oil all over us, like making us look as much like the guys in the movie as we can. Yeah. And then we parade around and do it. And it's fun when you have guests at the hotel that are not there for Dragon Con or even football, and then they're like there and they see this happen. I'm like,
welcome to Midtown.
Yeah, it's like this is Atlanta every weekend.
I always find it very funny because I do forget, hotels are still hotels, even though like giant conventions are at them. Yeah. Especially for like Dragon Con, like if you were just there
and you have
no clue what's happening, you're just like, hey, what the hell?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I try to go get some food at the restaurant downstairs, and there's
like a person in a T-Rex costume getting coffee. You're like, what do we do here? But it's also because there's like 60, 70,000 people show up for Dragon Con, and I think like 50,000+ people are showing up for college football kickoff, which is the same weekend
this
here
weekend?
in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a mishmash of, you got people cheering for Alabama, UGA, along with a whole bunch of nerds and geeks that love to celebrate our fandom, and then I think there's like some other third jazz fest or something. Anyway, it's a major chaos here in Atlanta, but it's a lot of fun. I bet
some of the football people are like, maybe this is what football is now. They just oil up before they go play.
Yeah, probably. Just be like,
this is so cool. So did you? I'm just still, my mind keeps going back to the oiling.
It's okay. Just breathe. Just take it in. Just breathe.
What are some of the lines that you yell when you're doing it?
Oh, I mean, the famous one that everybody likes to yell out, especially while we're walking through the hotels, is Spartans, what is your profession? Which is what the king says to his men when they encounter some Thessalonians that are there to help them fight the Persians. And they're all like, oh, I'm a sculptor, I'm a blacksmith, I'm whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, that's nice. And he's like, Spartans, what is your profession? And they all yell, Aru, Aru, Aru. So everybody yells that out at us. And of course, by the end of the night, we're like, voices are hoarse, like screaming that. As the king, I'll
You're the king?
I'm the king this year.
I didn't know we had a celebrity.
Oh, sorry.
My gosh.
It's okay. It's temporary. The title changes every year. But if you feel like, you can call me your sovereign or my sovereign,
you don't have
your
a sash.
highness. Yeah.
Do you have a crown?
Yeah, they have a special helmet that whoever gets elected king, there's a special helmet they have because he has a big black faux hawk on his helmet or mohawk on his helmet. Everybody else is just like the same helmet but without that. So that way you can see who the king is in the lineup.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. I'm happy to do it after 5-6 years, and I'm very lucky. There's only a few other guys competing, and for whatever reason, the committee elected me. I'm grateful and happy. I mean, it's fun. I really appreciate the group, and since joining, it's more than just a group of guys who just work out. It's a lot more than that, so I'm grateful for them.
How many people are in the collective now?
On average, 50 to 60 maybe, but it's not all men. Not everybody's in shape. Yeah. You have women. You have some women that are in really good shape. You have people that dress up like different characters from the movie. So Gorgo is what the queen's name is in the movie, and she wears a white dress. So you'll have a lot of the women that don't, because women can dress up as Spartan men. Like they can put on the whole outfit, do the whole thing. And we have several that do that every year, but most of the other women will dress up in the Gorgo outfit. And some of the guys that don't feel like they're ready enough to be in the gear, because nobody's denied allowed to wear the gear. Everybody can wear it. It's a very supportive
self-selecting group that decides that they're...
But we just let them know the crowd will let you know, and as inclusive and as friendly and as welcoming as Dragon Con people will say they are, and most of them are. There will be people that will make some comments, and you could have been busting your ass for a year, lost 50 pounds, put on muscle, but because you don't look like the guy from the movie, They'll be like, oh, Spartan needs to work out a little bit more or whatever. And like when you hear those comments, it's like, man, like your ego just drops. But
it's like being in a sorority.
Pretty much, yeah. Except you don't know these other sorority members. You're just stuck dealing with it. Like, all right, I'm just going to work out harder next year.
Now, how much of it, though, like you can work so hard, but if you don't have the genetics to pop out abs,
you don't have to have like an 8-pack to do the group. Obviously, they want to see some kind of ab definition. You don't need to look like a roided out monster. You just need to look like you're in shape. You have the look that people would say, oh yeah, that looks like a Spartan. Some guys are tanks. They just look like mountains and mountains of muscle. Other guys look like Adonises. They just have great physiques, like Statue of David physique. Some guys that are more on the leaner side. And you have some guys that are like all over the place that are just using the group to be motivated and get in better shape.
Yeah. And have a debut about it.
Pretty much. It's one of the only ways I think I keep myself. I like working out anyway, but it's an extra motivating thing to do. If I know every 12 months I'm going to do this one thing where I'm basically walking around in a leather diaper.
This is like a macho pageant.
In a way,
you're going to be wearing a crown, right?
I wear a crown, but like most people don't do it to compete. They just want to earn what's called earning your shield.
Wow!
And so what the committee will do is every year they'll select guys that say, "Hey, you've earned your shield. You brought a physique that's worthy of like you're definitely dressed out as a Spartan." Now nobody's restricted from doing it. Anybody can do it. It's just we always remind the newer members we're like the crowd will let you know. Like we're not going to stop you. We're all welcoming, but they'll say.
Tell me about the earning the shield ceremony. How many lambs are slaughtered?
So like 50 at minimum. No, we tend to...
Do you bathe in the blood or do you drink it? Or both?
Both. Yeah. It actually helps get the skin nice and shiny.
Is that what protein powder is made out of?
If you don't have your shield, you have to just clean up afterwards. You don't get to partake.
Pretty much. You have a mop and you're just like, all right, one day, guys, I'll be bathed in the blood. It's great. Actually, it's not as ceremonious as you might think. It's literally, we have a secret Facebook group for people that join the group.
Okay.
And nobody else can even see it if you search for it on Facebook, so don't even try. And on that group page is where the committee usually will announce who's earned their shield, and then it usually parlays what we have on our own. I don't want to say it's a secret website, but we have our own 300DC website where we post up like how to make the armor, workouts we're doing, progress. So that you have to be involved in the group. You can't just work out really hard, show up one day and be like, I want to be part of the group.
It sounds like there's fraternity involved. There's
very much
camaraderie.
So. Yeah.
Because it sounds like if a committee is getting together to decide if you've earned your shield yet, is there group activities where you guys hang out so you can get to find out if people are fun or nice, or do you volunteer? Do you plant trees?
We unfortunately don't plant trees. We're probably knocking them down.
You're not using your arms for good?
No. We're most of us, believe it or not, are by trade are IT professionals, lawyers, doctors, engineers. I work in insurance. I do corporate insurance. So it's like not like everybody's some weird, like not everybody's working construction or breaking bricks all day long. And then where was I going with that? What was the question? Sorry.
What are the activities you can to get to know if the guy earns his shield or not?
So it's really just all physique. That's it. It's as raw and as objective as it can possibly be. It is like you post up your photos and the committee.
But if they don't even want world peace, how do you know?
I mean, technically, if you're trying to imitate the people from the movie, there's no world peace. Yeah. It's simply just kill, and go
Good
drink
point.
After.
Good point. Okay. Yeah.
The women do actually have activities. The women group are much better about organizing like Zoom calls where they get together and have little happy hours throughout the year. They're better about it. The guys,
Shocker.
We all live in different areas though. That's the thing. Like some of us are in Atlanta, some are in California, Texas, Florida, some are coming from Britain. Like we are all over the place.
Okay. And then you guys, is it organized out of DC, and then but you all come here to Dragon Con?
Yeah, so it's an unofficial group of Dragon Con or I guess you say official group of Dragon Con. But what happens is they started as a group like 15 plus years ago, and they just stayed in touch. And from what I remember, I could be wrong. So if anybody's listening to this or watching, I apologize if I get any of the history wrong.
Yeah, you're already the king this year.
Oh, so. Yeah. It's like I can say whatever I want, right?
Whatever you say is law.
So what I understood was the majority of the guys that started the group, was like 8 or 9 of them. They started it the year after the movie came out, and they all were friends on video gaming online. So they weren't
another shocker.
Yeah, they I don't know if most of them knew each other in person. They just, I guess, found each other online, and then they all found out they all like to work out, and they said, "Hey, let's try to make this movie thing happen for Dragon Con," and then it just built from there.
Ooh, that's how organic.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It seems really cool. Anytime people come together and they work for something that's fun and festive and not actually destroying. You guys haven't destroyed anything.
We haven't pillaged or destroyed
just
or burned.
Some
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. We just kill it at the Pulse Bar at the Marriott after the parade. After the
Oh my
Riddle
gosh.
night.
Do you guys get hammered? I bet you haven't had a drink in a month.
So everybody talks about where they're at with their diet, all the things they're not eating, or what we're all planning on eating after. And the Saturday after the parade, we all get to reveal night. Once reveal night is done on Friday, then it's like do whatever you want, drink, eat, have a good old time, because we march in the parade the next morning. But by that point, you've done what you need to do.
Yeah. Your eating disorder has paid off.
And then they finally get, and then we have like a pizza party at one of the pools at the hotel where we just hang out. And then at that point, other people, they do other costumes. Like you'll have guys that get together and do all the shirtless versions of like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or anything like that. So the groups kind of break off and do their own thing.
I love this creativity.
Amy's going to Dragon Con for her first year this year. And
really?
I don't think you realize, Amy, how many slutty men you're going to see.
I'm very excited.
Well, there used to be a rule that you try to keep it tame before 8 p.m. And then afterward, it's kind of like when the kids are gone, because it's family friendly all day long. But yeah, if you come later in the evening,
am I going to see genitalia?
No.
What's calm?
No, you won't get that low. But people will be walking around in underwear, lacy underwear. I mean, people have pasties on nips. Like they won't be full on, but basically it leaves little to the imagination.
Yeah, I have a friend. He's not one of the Spartans, but he works out all year, and all of his costumes are just to be like, oh, what fandom do I like where there's dudes in speedos? Because I want to show off.
That's how he identifies.
He's like, I want to show off what I spend 30 hours a week doing, which is working out.
A man in a banana hammock with a dream.
That's well, I mean, is there another kind of dream? Is there really anything else in this world? My wife she thought if I was king this year, she's like, oh, great, it means you'll never do this again. I'm like, when did I say that? Yeah. She's like, no, it's like, I thought you said you were going to stop. And it was like, I don't know where you heard that, because now it's like, now that I've been king, I'm going to then be Queen's Guard next year. That's my
you're
goal.
the queen next year?
No, Queen's. So at the end of the, so you remember how there are two movies,
I got
right?
too excited.
Yeah. Well, you'll still like it. So in the movie, after the movie ends, like all of the Spartans die, but the Queen has been able to convince the Senate, their council, to send like tens of thousands of Spartans to help fight the war. And in the sequel movie, it's mostly about the Macedonians or the other Greeks fighting the Persians. The Spartans show up at the very end of the movie in black capes to symbolize the mourning of the king, because the king's dead. So they're basically same, almost exact outfit, just a black cape instead. No shield. They just have a sword, or actually I think they have a shield. And they're on the boats to fight. And the queen's there in her black outfit with a sword, so she's there to fight.
Yeah, she looks badass.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So about 3 or 4 guys do that every year. I figured once I became king, that'll probably be my next goal.
Okay, it's good to have a goal.
Yeah, I got to have a goal. Yeah. Aside from wearing leather underwear every year, that my wife's like, why are we doing this? But she's on board now.
This is good. Maybe too, like, I don't know how long you guys have. I've been married for 23 years, and the older I get, the more I realize it's so important for a husband to have his own friends and go play and have like camaraderie and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Or else they wither. So good for you.
Thank you. But
I can give her a call.
She's involved now. She dressed up like in the Gorgo outfit like her very first year while we were dating. And so then she kind of learned, okay, if I'm not in the group, like kind of get a cold shoulder from the other members of the group. They're like, what are you doing here? You're not on the forums. You don't contribute. What do you do? So now I'm like, babe, like I'm king this year. Can you just put on that Gorgo outfit one more time? Like you won't march around, but like just take pictures with me. Like this will be fun. We have our little daughter. She's going to have a Spartan onesie thing on. She's not even 2, and I'm like, my God, I was hoping to get like her in a brown diaper with a red fork that we use for her meals, and like a little red cape and a fake outfit, just to be like, okay, a little Spartan-esque, and put a little fake bra thing on her. So my wife, she was so tempted to do it. She's like, no, let's not do that to our child. I was like, she's like not even 2, so I figured whatever.
Oh, that's cute though. I love that you have a dream for it.
Yeah, I do. I'm just told to my wife Sumbul that every year now, Mila is your accessory. So last year she was Cruella de Vil, and she dressed our daughter up as a Dalmatian.
Yeah, Dalmatian.
And she's very little and tiny. So this year they have they're going to do it'll be 2. I won't spoil anything for anybody because it'll happen already. By the time you watch this, she's going to have them do Clueless, Cher and Dee.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, she's going to have her dressed up as Cher, and Dee will be my wife, which I think will be funny.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because the way men interact is always a mystery to me.
Mm-hmm. We're very simple. It shouldn't be a mystery.
I know. It's just parallel play. It's not it's not together play, but you do the same thing near each other a lot. Like playing the video games, trash talking's a lot of it. I've noticed. So do you just like hang out with the same guys every year and you bond over these 3 days of oiling each other up? Or
Yeah, because you get really intimate with each other. Fun fact, the ancient Spartans, while they were usually, had a wife and had kids and everything else, their true intimacy was actually with fellow Spartan men.
Yeah, you have all men have a clit in their butt.
A clit in their butt?
Yeah.
You mean a prostate?
Prostate.
Yeah. I've heard these things. Yeah.
You heard tell?
Yeah, but yeah, no, we hang out. There's some guys that have known each other for years, and everybody kind of breaks off into their own cliques once the whole 300 part is done. But usually we're hanging out together by the Pulse Bar, drinking, reminiscing about the year, talking to each other about life. And the truth is, a lot of these guys, like the group's very, is a good outlet for some members that like they lost a job, they moving homes, the relationships are ending, new ones are forming, they've had a kid, they have some medical issues, and the group wasn't meant to be a support group, but I feel like in some cases some members like try to use it that way, and I personally think it's a good thing because it helps people know like. Because we're there to be honest. We'll tell people the truth. Like if they're asking about how their workouts are going, what they look like, we'll tell you the truth. We're not going to sugarcoat it. But when it comes to, trying to help keep their heads high, trying to fight through everything else that happens in life, like I felt like the group has done a good job enabling that and making it part of us.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's nice. So you guys are...
Bro love.
What's that?
Bro love.
Bro love.
Yeah.
So they're able to communicate their feelings through like posts on your secret Facebook page.
Yes.
And then you're like... Yeah, I lost a job too. Here's a great headhunter.
Yeah.
Or
Some people will reach out. I remember, I think it was even when I lost a job and I was looking to get into cybersecurity, and one of the members of our group does cybersecurity, and I had reached out to him to see if he could help me try to find work. And I ended up going to something else, but the fact that the option was there was very helpful.
It's a network.
It is.
That's really cool. And it sounds like it's a network of high-functioning nerds that have lots of jobs.
Absolutely. Just only thing that separates us from the majority of people in this realm of geekdom is that we just like to lift weights, pick heavy things up and put them down.
And how do you do this? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you get fucking ripped?
So the short answer...
Who did you sell your soul to?
I honestly was 275 pounds at one point. I was a big boy coming out of high school. So I can say that it's not genetic. Genetics can play a role if you're trying to become like a professional bodybuilder, somebody on stage. Like, yes, genetics do play a role there. For the everyday person to even look like the way I look, it's really, it's diet, it's training. And the truth is, if I can break it down very simply, most programs that have people see the best results with their physique changing, aside from knowing how many carbs they should eat, how many calories in general, protein, fats, that whole bit, how much they should eat on a training day, how much they should eat on a non-training day. Once you get all that squared away, and that does change as your body improves, training wise, it's usually 4 or 5, sometimes 6 days a week, lifting. Like 80 to 90% of the time, you just focus on lifting. And you'll follow, say, the same workout schedule for 4 to 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Every week, all you're changing, it's not like you're doing a brand new workout every week. You're only changing like a little bit how much more weight you're using, if you're adding an extra set or an extra rep on a set. That's muscle confusion. So when you hear about this muscle confusion stuff, that's muscle confusion. It's not doing a different workout every time. And every 4 to 6 weeks, you seek improvement. You deload for a week, and then you just kind of recycle it, maybe change out a few movements. But the idea is just continue linear progression, building up and up.
How long are these workouts that are 5 or 6
About an hour.
times? Okay, you just said that like that was easy squeezy.
Yeah,
just an hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
every
it's
day.
not like you're in there 2-3 hours. You're not professional bodybuilders unless you're in there for like 3 hours a day.
So I do 20 minutes twice a week.
What do you do for those 20 minutes?
I smoke a cigarette.
Okay, that's good. Get the lungs working.
There you go. Cheese dip, and I lay on the ground, and my dog licks my face, and I hold a little weight in my hand.
Okay, that will probably not do what you want it to do, but it sounds relaxing. It sounds really enjoyable.
She join the Spartans?
Yeah, fake
You can join it now if you want. It's just wear a go-go dress.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Okay. That's okay. So it's an hour, 5 to 6 times a week, and then figuring out how much to eat when.
So at that point,
and not a lot of cardio. You're saying it's mostly weight.
Honestly, if you want to know the truth, this is for most of the guys in the group, most of the elite level trainers I follow. Everything I taught my clients to do was that the only thing that changes from when you're trying to lean out, like lose body fat or build muscle, is how much you're eating. The training changes a tiny bit, but it's mostly how much. And it's usually just how much when it comes to carbs and fats. That's the only thing that changes.
How does it change?
So, for example, if say I was eating 400 grams of carbs a day, when I was trying to put on weight, right?
I'm supposed to do 50.
Okay. You might want more than
we
that.
We have a different body type.
Yeah, well, it also
Mine's
depends on what you're training.
perimenopausal.
Yeah. Well, it also could depend on what you're doing day to day. So what'll happen is, say I start at 400 grams of carbs a day, and over 3 months I plan on leaning out say 10 pounds, or I want to cut like 4% body fat, whatever it is. Each week, I'm weighing myself multiple times a week, and I look at my weight average. So I track that. So that way, even if the numbers are skewed a little bit, if over week by week it's dropping, I'm like, oh, cool, I don't need to eat less. When it starts stalling for 2 weeks, then I'll say, all right, I'll drop from 400 down to 350 on the carbs. Protein stays the same, fat stays the same.
How many proteins do you eat?
Only 200 grams. You don't need, it's a lot for the everyday person, but I'm only around 200 pounds. That's all I need. It's not, you don't need to eat like 400 grams
Isn't that bad for your liver to have too much protein?
It's not. It's a big myth. There's actually your body, the test that they did to see how much your body could consume for protein in a sitting, the only system they use only used 20 grams of protein in a sitting. If that was the truth, then you can only do 20 grams. Most bodybuilders, professional athletes wouldn't look the way they look. So you can eat a lot more.
What's your favorite kind of protein besides lamb's blood?
Oh, God, but that's the good stuff. Lamb's got a lot of fat in it, by the way. So actually, I learned that out recently.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of meats. You want to go with lean meats, but personally, I love a big, juicy, fatty steak.
A fatty steak, so not like the tenderloin.
No. If it's what I want to eat, that's what I'm going for. If I'm trying to lean out, yeah, I'll use a tenderloin.
Okay.
Yeah. But and then all you do is you just keep following it as the weeks go by. You'll get a little bit weaker, but that's expected. But that doesn't happen till like the 3rd month when you're really cutting the calories. And so like the last week, I've been under 100 grams of carbs a day. So,
okay. Yeah. Are you? Have you
I'm
hurt
starving.
anyone? Is your mom? Is this why your wife wants you to quit? Because do you get a little
actually
fractious?
No, I don't. I actually just get very tired.
Oh.
And she doesn't like it because then she'll want to talk about something or whatever, and I'm like half listening. I'm like, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
What do you want? But it's good though. She knows that come Friday evening, she's like, thank God you can eat again.
And you resuscitate.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely.
Resuscitate.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a lot of commitment, and I might tip of the hat to you. Like so, for how long up into the day are you in program mode?
I mean, I'm in program mode year round. It just depends on after this is when all the Spartans mostly will go into a bulking season. And that's simply
I know that's a season I can get behind.
Yes.
A bulking season. I'm writing that down and I'm going to put that on my calendar.
My wife said that when she became pregnant. She's like, for our reveal day when we announced that we were pregnant, my wife's like, looks like it's going to be bulking season for the next 6 months, or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so from there, we usually do that time to put on more muscle mass. You put on, if you're lean enough, and this is a big thing people don't realize about the human body, if you have under 15% body fat for men or under 20% body fat for women, you have to put fat on to put on muscle mass. It's just the biology of the body. Now, you don't want to and it's on average 3 to 4 pounds of fat for every 1 pound of muscle. It's not easy to put on pounds and pounds of muscle. It's very, very difficult. Somebody like me, if I could put 4 or 5 on in a year, that's a lot of muscle. And it does look very different on the body. Then what happens is you build up that extra 5 pounds of muscle, meaning I probably had to put on 20 plus pounds to do that. I then try to maintain that. And then when I'm cutting, I'm trying to lose like 15 to 20 pounds of fat.
Oh my God. This is really a balancing act. I had no idea. So
you don't just eat pizza and burgers to bulk up.
Your body changes because you eat more.
Yeah.
So you bulk up and you have that fat, and then you spend a year trying to turn that fat into muscle.
Well, you can't turn fat into muscle. It's kind of like you can't turn your liver into your heart. It's just a separate tissue. All you can do is shrink fat cells. Fat cells can shrink and enlarge. Muscle cells can shrink and enlarge. You can replicate fat cells.
Eat more fat then. Is that what you're saying to
gain
gain the muscle?
You don't eat more fat. You just simply eat more carbs usually to help you build up the muscle. Carbs and protein build muscle. Fat, you'll eat fat as well because that's going to help you put on the extra weight, gives you extra calories to grow. Once you start cutting, you can decrease the fat, like the amount of fat you're consuming, but you're mostly just slowly dropping down the carbohydrates.
Yeah, and then you're getting tired.
Yeah, then you're getting tired.
You're tired
you're
and
tired, moody, lethargic, not paying attention to work. Just like, I want to take a nap.
I think that's what all perimenopause is because they tell us not to eat carbs.
Oh, really?
Us ladies.
And did they tell you to eat more red meat? I wonder if it was that thing. Okay.
And avocados, healthy fats, and more protein than I have in the past. We're working on. I gotta stop drinking so much alcohol. Do you have to stop drinking alcohol to get?
I don't stop completely. Unless you're trying to get on a stage and really compete. I mean, some guys will hold off on the alcohol, but like a little sip here or there is not going to do it. You're not pounding beer. You're not drinking cocktails. You might have like a sip of like a bourbon or something like that, or some tequila. You're not pounding the drinks left and right. Some people for the last month will hold off on the alcohol just because alcohol registers calorie-wise per gram is closer to fat than carbohydrates. So if, say, it's 4 calories per gram of a carb, like bread, like there's 10 grams of carbs in a piece of bread, it's 40 calories. If you do fat, like peanut butter, 1 gram of peanut butter is equal 9 calories. So when you see a serving of peanut butter, I always tell people, if you want to have a reality check, do a serving of peanut butter, like a legit serving, and realize that that's 135 calories, that one tiny spoonful.
Yeah.
And so that's,
You just did a lot of math right off the top of your head. You have all of these things memorized. I've had many eating disorders because I'm of a certain age and I went to a women's college. So I experienced my culture.
Yeah. I'm sure that everybody was very friendly to each other, no judgy, no talking behind each other's back.
I think in our heads, we were just mean to ourselves. Yeah. It was a sweet place to go to school, but we were all just, it was like the late 90s and everyone was trying to look.
Everyone looked like anorexic models.
Anorexic, yes.
Curves are in style. Muscle is in style. It's okay.
Shout out J-Lo and everybody for bringing back the butt.
Yeah. It's helpful.
Yeah.
What do they say? Healthy at every size or something like that? I don't know if that's true, but it's good not to be a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned calories. That's what this was back in the day. We're like, oh, you have a fat-free cookie. It's healthy. And oh, it's all sugar.
Yeah.
Now everyone's doing macros.
It's
and
just
all
a
those
different
things you
way.
said grams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I learned how to measure everything in ounces and calories. I can't learn a whole nother eating disorder.
The good thing is there's plenty of apps that can help with it. I always tell people this though, when you're trying to get in shape, everybody's very different as far as where they are mentally, what they're willing to do. And so the same thing I'll tell you that I did with my clients was, let's pick the easiest thing to do. If it's, oh, I don't have a problem working out, it's like, all right, they're going to start working out. I'm like, just start with that. And then slowly, what's the next thing? It's been a month, you made some progress. Where do you want to change? Like, well, I'm not getting as strong as I thought I would. I'm like, okay, let's look at your protein. Oh, you're only having like 100 grams a day. You need 150 grams a day. Okay, let's figure out how to add that into it. It's just small changes. Some people might be, I'm going to work out, but I want to change what I eat. It's like, all right, just eat a little bit less at your meals. Same stuff, same everything, just a little bit less. And those people who do that, they see progress long term because then they make slow, habitual changes.
Habit stacking.
Yeah. Yes, habit stacking.
I love habit stacking. You get one good thing going, and then when that's you don't have to think about it. Your lizard brain takes over. Yeah. And it's easy squeezy. You're not using any of your willpower, which is a finite amount.
Oh God, no. Our willpower sucks.
And is it like if you have my husband has like the most amount of willpower of anybody I've ever met in my life, but he has like it's a muscle he's practiced at.
Yeah.
I think I don't have any anymore. I just gave up. I'm like this. We're all gonna die. I'm gonna eat a pizza.
Yeah. Well, I feel like my attitude. So when people say that, I always say, true. Like I can work out, eat right, be as healthy as imaginable, and I can get hit by a bus tomorrow. But what if I don't? And I even looked at, Dick Van Dyke. He's lived to be in his 90s. And he even said that he worked out when he was younger to look good. Then he worked out to keep himself from being injured. Then he worked out to keep himself mobile as he got really old. Yeah. Now he's just doing it out of spite. He's just like, hey, I'm just going to keep working out till the day I drop. And I always tell people just to pretend for a minute, like we always put off all the health issues we have down the road. Even physically just moving around for a walk for 30 minutes a day definitely helps. And I just pretend like, all right, I'm going to live to be 100. I want to be mentally all there, so I read a lot. I want to be physically there, so I work out. I try to eat as best as I can. Yeah, cancer can come and rack my body apart. And when I turn 50, I can't do anything about that, but at least I can do whatever I can to help minimize it and then keep things going.
I think it helps to make the things that you're doing that are healthy for you fun. Like
that's true.
I have no problem getting cardio in because I go to my dance class where I hang out with all my best buddies and I play tennis or I hang out with all my best buddies. No, it's the weightlifting. It's the weightlifting where because I'm getting older and my muscles are shockingly decreasing quickly and I'm like, I can't even pick up furniture. I used to be able to move furniture. I can't do it anymore. I'm like, my mother has 2 frozen shoulders. Yeah. It's coming. It's coming. So I do need to start turning it into like a weightlifting monster person.
The good thing is actually for you at your age, you only need to probably lift weights, like a full body routine, very basic movements, like a squat, a press, a pull, just 4 or 5 basic movements. You only need to do that maybe twice a week, like every 3 or 4 days, do just a full body workout, and you don't have to kill it. You don't need to go crazy. Pick the machines that are easy for you too. You don't have to go to free weights. Use machines.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm spitballing here. Okay. We're gonna maybe start a business together.
Okay. What is it gonna be called?
And it's weightlifting for middle-aged women, and we follow the 300 around the country to the different hotels where you're staying. Okay. And when you go to the hotel gym to oil yourselves up, that's when we work out.
Okay, that's when are you going to be working out or
watching.
Oiling? Oh, watching. Okay. Right. Well, you're only going to tour one city, and that's just going to be Atlanta. That's the only place where we all go together.
Okay, we need to tweak it. It's not for fully formed. Maybe it's like we visit we make sure you guys are doing your workouts. We check up on you. We can be room moms.
Yes,
we're the room moms of the 300. That's probably in the movie.
You'll have to talk to the Gorgos of the group because there's some women in the group that'll be like, "Oh, really? Is that what you want to do?" And he's like, "Let's talk."
You're
like, we're just gonna come gawk at your husband.
Yeah. No big deal.
When they see what we look like, they'll be like, "They're fine. They're harmless. Let them have a moment before they die."
You went to an all-women's college. You know, women can get very territorial. Even if they don't see the person as a threat, you're a threat.
Well, okay. Now you're saying this, and you do parade around with your abs out in a tiny pair of pants.
That's
so
true.
You might be experiencing more.
Well, my wife knows that. Like, I'm told her, like, can you please just call me my king, my sire, my sovereign, whatever, just one time, please. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. You have everybody else calling you that. I'm like, please. I was like, I call you queen all the time. She's like, yeah, but you're mocking me, so I'm not calling you king. I'm like, please just call me king one time when I have the crown on my head. Please do it. And so I'm now on pins and needles. Like, will she call me king?
Oh my God, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Is this like in public or in the bedroom? I'm so confused.
No. This is just in general. I was just like, just call me your king one time. She's like, no, your ego's always inflated. You need to be knocked down a peg. I'm like, but I would like to hear from my wife. That'd be great. So we'll see if it happens.
Oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
Is this a big role play for you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't put on the costume in the bedroom, but, we'll see. Who knows? We'll see what she gets into.
Maybe you're doing enough costuming outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
It's kind of checking that box for you.
Yeah, probably. Then we just put on baggy clothes and we're like, all right, let's just lay on the couch and watch Netflix. So.
Well, yeah, welcome to marriage.
That is very true. And it's peaceful. It's great.
Yeah, especially when you have a child.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, would you like me to find out what kind of nerd you are? Although
sure.
You kind of just nerded out for
I know.
time. No, I loved it. I loved it. And it's fascinating, too, because a lot of the nerds that come across my desk here are not into fitness like this. So it's really cool to get an inside scoop. Yeah. But I just want to circle back to this whole like grams. Do you look at like a chicken and you're like, do you measure all your food? Do you measure all your food?
At home, I do, yes.
Do you measure your lettuce? Because that's when we knew my friend had like she'd gone over the edge.
I only measure out carbs and proteins and fats. When it comes to vegetables, I don't measure it out.
So you haven't eaten out in 3 weeks?
No, I've gone out a little bit. Like when you get to a certain point where you can maintain or you're very close to where you need to be, unless you really are just dying to kill yourself to like get to a certain level, which we always stress in the script, like you don't need to. This isn't a competition. It's like just eat what you want. So like the other week we went out to Bar Taco, and I got the roasted chicken that I took the skin off, so I ate that, and I had a skinny margarita. Like I still live life.
That sounds like a nice dinner. My husband just took the skin off his chicken last night too.
Yeah. Well, it's really good. It's just very oily and greasy. When you look at when you've done as much measuring as I have, when you look at how much fat grams are on the skin versus without the skin, it saves it takes the plain skinless, boneless like chicken breast from say 120 calories for 4 ounces. It jumps up to like 250 when you throw that skin on there because of the fat content. Like it's just so you think, all right, well I'm trying to get lean, cut the skin off.
Some people only eat the skin.
Yeah. Fried skin. Oh, man, that's good.
It's delicious.
A good dipping sauce. No, we're all going to go crazy and eat like we're dying out on Friday night.
I feel like the cooking it in the skin, though, gives it more flavor.
Oh, absolutely.
So what's going to be your crazy cheat?
I told my wife, remember the big
does a
fatty...
king not cheat? He's too good to cheat.
No. Like, you remember how I mentioned the big, fatty, juicy steak?
Yeah.
I was like, that's the only thing I've been craving. I haven't been craving sweets, and I love sweets. I was like, I'm not craving pasta. I'm not craving bread. I'm not craving ice cream. I'm craving a big, fat, juicy steak. But I'm like, when we're down in downtown Atlanta...
You can already eat that, can't you, on your program?
Not when it's fatty. When it's really... like a tomahawk with a fat trim on it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You're like... It feels like you're reincarnated from the Great Depression. The more fat, the better.
Oh yeah. I would do that over like donuts and ice cream.
I feel like after a while of not having those, you stop craving them. If you go long enough, you can like change your kind of chemistry in your body for what it wants.
Maybe.
I don't like sweets, but the pizza is the one I'm like.
Oh, good pizza. Good pizza. Antico's or Nina Raffa's. Nina Raffi's. Have you been to that one?
I haven't been to Nina Raffi's.
It's on Beltline. It's like Detroit style pizza. Really really good.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a big
Amaza's
foodie.
is another really good pizza place in town.
Bruni Napoli.
Amaza.
Oh, where's that one?
That one's in like Edgewood area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah. That one. I think that and Antico are my two favorite pizza places.
Yeah. Bruni Napoli is fun too.
Okay. Yeah, I've been noticing on my algorithms on Instagram when I'm on it is like all these like big gorging burgers and fries and like enormous amounts of grotesque food that I'm like, oh my God, I'm like salivating. It's like food porn right now the last few weeks. I'm like, I can't have you yet. I'll have you later. It's like one day. It's like,
I had a trainer friend go to Dunkin' Donuts to visit the babies. He's like, I just want to go visit the donuts. I'm not going to eat them.
Man.
I just want to smell them.
Yeah, just want to see them. Yeah.
Sublime donuts.
My closest thing to Spartan training is one time in my early 20s, I got really drunk. And then it was like I was at this party and everyone had a bunch of water guns, and so me and a bunch of friends grabbed trash can lids and like did like the little triangle formation. And then one of my friends, who he actually does work at a lot, not like Spartan level, but he just kept screaming like, what is it like? God, it's been forever. But like we move as one unit, we attack as one unit. There's some line from that where it's just like But yeah, we were just like huddled up, and so everyone got mad at us in the water gun fight because people had shields, and then we just had like the guns just barely protruding out. Obviously, Spartans didn't have guns. That's the closest I've come to it.
No, it's fun,
is screaming about that and just being way too drunk at like a pool party.
You pointed out like deep down, every guy wants to be like some badass warrior without getting. It's like everybody wants to get in a fight. I don't think that's true. Every guy wants to throw a punch and hit somebody really hard, but not get hit back. Like, let's be honest. It's like I'll throw a punch as long as I don't get hurt.
And then also not actually have your hand hurt as much as it does when you actually punch something, because you're like, oh, this is just flesh and bones. It's just,
I've seen people break their wrist punching people or in the face. Like I was in the military, so I saw fights all the time, and there were guys that they'd knock the guy out, but then they'd have a cast the next day. I'm like, was it worth it? It's like, yeah, it was totally worth it. Now it's gonna hurt more when I hit him again.
I have a lot of actor friends, and then one of my friends who does a lot of like on-camera fighting, he was telling me once that like he got, he was like, if you've ever seen a real actual fight, it looks not cool at all.
No, it's not.
He was like, it goes so quick, you both get tired, and he was like, we throw the punch, we like make it look cool. He was like, but if you actually get punched on camera, you're like, that ruined the take, because that doesn't look good. So it is, it's very glamorized.
What part of the military? Wait, I have two questions.
Yeah, sure.
What kind of choreography do you do with the 300? And then what part of the military are you in?
The choreography usually will do a formation called spear to shield, where they form the shield wall and have the spears out. And one year was actually kind of fun because
how do you get the spears here on the airplane?
I mean, most of them break down in half, and they're plastic or rubber. It's not real spear. The shield itself, the first year I carried a real metal one, and I realized, because it's the only one I could find that was the size and the look. I don't know how these guys carried these shields back in the day, because I'm sure theirs were much heavier. My arm was dead after the parade. I was like, what's going on here? But
maybe they did less parading.
Probably. But they do spear to shield, and then we'll form into a dome where the spikes are out. It's one of the images from the end of the movie.
Like an angry turtle.
Like an angry turtle, yeah. We call it, some guy called it turtle or something. I'm like, can we find a different name for this? It doesn't sound very badass. Like, form turtle. I'm like, I don't think this is cool.
Geodome.
I don't spend all my off time.
I'm like, I'm trying to think of a name to tell them on Friday. I'm like, can we call it something else?
Geodome.
Yeah, something like that.
You're
like, let's go Death Dome instead.
Death Dome, that's nice as alliteration.
Yeah.
Scratchy.
Yeah, and then they'll form, and then you'll do it when we're in the parade. We'll do the shield wall, and then we'll like step together and like a little kind of like jousting thing, and it's kind of cool.
A pas de bourrée? Is there?
No, unfortunately no.
Is it like left, right?
It's more like forward, stab.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. First of all, the kids love it. They all get scared when we're doing it during the parade. They're like, oh my God. And all the moms are just going, woo. It's like, I'm so scared. I'm like, all right, just calm down.
Where's my fainting sofa?
Yeah, you spray the water, calm down.
That's hilarious. So, and then what's more of the words you guys say when you're doing all these things?
The Aru cheer.
Aru?
When I yell out, Spartans.
You get to lead all the calls.
Yeah, I get
You're
to
the call master.
Yeah. What else do we do? Like somebody in the group will make a joke about fighting in the shade, which is another line from the movie, which was a real line in real life. One of the troops did say to the Persians about how they said their arrows would block out the sun. One of the Spartan troops did respond that back with, we will fight in the shade. Like that is historically, from what I've read, is true. And then the king's telling his men.
That was also from The Matrix. I'm kidding because
Yeah.
they block the sun.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. But and then they find, and the other part that actually is true historically is the king the night before or the morning of their final battle when they knew they were pretty much all going to die. He tells them to eat ready their breakfast and eat hearty because tonight they're going to dine in hell or Hades. And that actually also was historically accurate. He did tell them that, which is kind of like, all right, badass one-liners 3,000 years ago. Not bad, buddy. So
Was it in Greek?
probably whatever
Ancient Greek.
whatever they did. Probably doesn't sound as cool now. But.
Drachmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what part of the military were you in?
I was in the Marine Corps.
Okay. That's hardcore.
Yeah.
What kind of choreography did you have there?
Stab, shoot. Slash, die, enemy, die. I was a machine gunner, so I had to learn a cadence to pull the trigger, release, to understand how to shoot bursts of bullets because you don't just pull the trigger and start spraying everything. So there are certain phrases that I won't say on here that we had to use to help us keep the rhythm. But
I bet they had swear words in it. And
Yes, very much so.
girl parts.
No, actually, no, they didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, we did not offend the ladies. No, it was
Okay.
very much offending the enemy in whatever way we could. But it was just generic, vulgar words they use, like swear words.
Yeah.
But I won't say it because I don't want my kids
Yeah.
seeing me saying these words on here.
This is a clean show.
Yeah, it's very clean, very clean.
Actually, fun enough, this is one of the one of
Yeah.
the more clean shows we've done.
I only said pussy
okay,
once.
so here's what we really say.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see what kind of nerd you are. Beside, okay, what? First of all, I want to qualify from all the information I just got. Like, you're in insurance now.
Yes.
So do you have a mathematical brain?
I'm actually pretty decent at math. Yeah.
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 Okay. So you're
Like
you
percentage.
know,
He said a
Basic
lot
stuff.
of numbers.
Yeah.
he said a lot of numbers, and because of measuring all that stuff and all the science. So there's science.
Most meatheads are. I won't consider myself a meathead, but most meatheads are very good at math. Surprisingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they have to
Yeah.
measure
Count the
all
plates.
those
Measure it out. That's a
things.
quarter. That's a 40. They do the math.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Okay. Have you ever said that's not canon?
Nah, I haven't gotten to that level.
Are you watching all the new
I'm actually
ones?
about to start reading all the books, though. I decided I want to start reading all the I've even asked ChatGPT, give me the top 50 Star Wars novels I should read because I know there's hundreds of things to read. So I have that list, and I'm like, as soon as I finish the Red Rising series, I'm jumping to that.
Red Rising. Okay, and then you use ChatGPT a lot.
Yeah, that or Google's Bard. That one's actually better because
Bard.
Yeah.
This is all my boys talk about. So my
Yeah.
husband's a physicist.
Oh wow.
And my children, like the nerd genes
Super
are
nerd.
strong.
Yeah.
Like my son's going
They're
to
gonna rule the world. That's what nerds inherit the earth, man. It's true.
They're doing one of them's doing aerospace engineering.
Oh, God.
And the other one is the one who's like very Star Wars,
Yeah.
and he says that's not canon and all this stuff.
I want to be that level one day.
Well, I'm going to have him talk to another Star Wars nerd on this podcast.
Oh,
I think
cool.
next week.
That'll
So
be
it'll be
fun.
out in a couple of weeks. I'll
Cool.
send it to you. A little advertisement for the future. Let's see here. Okay, so have you ever LARPed or cosplay? Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, okay, are you worried that AI is going to take over? Do you talk about it a lot?
I've read a few books about it.
Okay.
I think absolutely it's going to start taking away my personal opinion based on what I've read very few things, but my personal opinion is that it's going to take away a lot of low skilled labor jobs first, and then at some point I think it'll make higher end paying professionals, it'll make them better at their jobs. I don't think it's going to get to that level at least for 30 or 50 years that it'll take over a job. Like you're not going to have an AI doing operations and surgery to people. Like you're still going to have a doctor doing that. You're not going to have an AI. I mean, for the most part, it is flying the plane now, but you still need a pilot to land, take off. Like, it'll help make jobs better. I even use it in my own job. We're not I can't use it on the company computer, so I'm on my phone, asking about certain endorsements and oh, does this thing cover this thing? And it helps me. I actually get good answers from it. So,
What
I'm a
about,
fan.
I've heard it might take over law. Because
I can definitely see that.
It'll go through all of the previous cases and
Yeah.
find them immediately
Oh, yeah.
instead of having someone.
It'll make a paralegal job way easier, or basically eliminate paralegals. Literally just type in, be like, find me an argument for this case, and then it'll fine tune it, and then it'll have its argument ready.
My husband keeps trying it with physics problems, and he's still better at physics than the AI.
It's still learning, but it'll get better.
And it's getting better exponentially because it's teaching itself.
Yeah.
That way it can take over in the night and eat our eyeballs out.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll eat because it won't be hungry, but yeah,
No,
if Terminator thing happens,
It'll
and,
be doing that because it's trying to be human.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's what we do.
But fun AI book I read. If people think that AI is going to have motivation to want to take over the world. The thing is, the AI needs to be given a program to do something like that. So unless somebody with ill
Writes that
intentions does
software.
that, yeah, or hacks it, but it's you're going to damn everybody. So unless you have a suicide,
Oh,
wish.
well, what about people who make all of the bad things that infest our computers?
Yeah, but they always have a payout at the end. They're doing it for a political agenda. Nobody's doing it for worldwide annihilation. Domination, but not annihilation.
It's not to hot rod in front of their friends and be like, look what I made.
Exactly.
Well,
I used to do cybersecurity insurance, so I got to see what that was like. They all pay out. They all get paid, and it's just so they can go and do the next thing to the next person.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not just like the guy. So there's some guy who was playing like video games with his friends, and then he released a bunch of classified documents because you don't want to impress the guys he played video games with.
Oh, wait, who was that one? I remember, this sounds familiar.
That was on like a Discord server where it was somebody, because he had.
Was it the military guy, the U.S.?
He had a clearance and no one believed him, and he was like, "Oh well, I'll show you."
Wow.
And then he just leaked a bunch of stuff on his Discord, and then they were like, "Yeah, we got you like immediately," because all of your friends were like, "Oh my God, Tim!" I don't know what his name is, but it was like Tim actually has this clearance.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you get props, bro. Yeah, he was a military guy. He was like U.S. National Guard, and but he had access to stuff that people thought like, how would this low level, private or whatever he was, like, how would he have access to? Because I was in the military. I'm like, I would not have been trusted with any of that stuff, but it was just duties, and he was doing something, and he had access to it.
And he just released it just cause. Just to like.
It wasn't like a Snowden situation where it was like helping showcase the light of like bad things.
It's just that no one believed that he had the clearance he had, so he was like, "Well, I'll prove you," and then now he's in prison,
probably for the next 30 years.
Did you see that they made a movie about there was a girl who released things about the election in Russia messing with our elections, and they made a movie. It was fascinating. They only used the transcripts from the interview. Like, it's not an interview when someone is like a police officer and they're making you talk to them. What's that called? Interrogation.
Interview, interrogation. Whatever.
But they had also like blocked out the things that were top secret that couldn't be divulged, so they actually show you like what's crossed out, so you can't see what it is, but something else is being spoken, and all like the actors just had to figure out how they thought this person had said it.
Oh wow!
And it's only word for word what was in the
was
released
it like half redacted or
interrogation.
Something?
It was enough that you're like, oh wow, there's like a lot of secrets out there.
Very much. Right now it's the U.S. government has alien ships and what do you call it? Biologics.
How many books have you read about aliens? Because my son says it's all BS.
I mean, as far the probability of another intelligent life being out there is still kind of high if you accept the whole expansion
how big
of the
world
universe
is,
and just how big the universe is in the multiverse idea. So I don't believe in. And I don't know if there's an afterlife. I don't know if there are gods or demons or angels. I don't know of any of that stuff. I'm borderline atheist when it comes to that stuff. I definitely think there are aliens. Now, have we made contact with them? Have they made contact with us? If you want a good sci-fi novel, that won awards. Was a Chinese author. He won, I forget the award was for like best sci-fi novel. It's called The Three Body Problem.
Three Body Problem.
Yeah, and that one, and then a sequel was called The Dark Force. The Dark Force, surprisingly, is very accurate what most, I guess you could say, extraterrestrial sociologists and psychologists think would have, like actual experts that say, if we encountered an intelligent alien race that can like fly here with a ship or whatever, it's probably bad news for all of us. It's because
it's the Spartans coming.
It's probably the Spartans or the Persians coming.
The Persians coming, and there's gonna be you guys are gonna have to fight them off with your choreography.
I'll be like, just make it quick, bro. Just shoot me quick, phase me, whatever it is. I don't want to live through the mess.
I know, right? Do you feel that way? That's how old I am. I'm like, you know what? If it gets really bad, I'm just gonna check out.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but you're a mom, so you'd be like, all right, I just want to make sure the kids are okay. And then once they're okay, it's like, all right, whatever happens.
No, my girlfriend, she has the determination to make it an apocalypse, and I tell her all the time, I'm like, I love you. I'm gonna go to the party where we're all like, I'm gonna die after this weekend. Like this, I can't do this. I'm gonna take all the resources and get a lot of booze and drugs, and that's it. Yeah. We're done.
Yeah, you got 24 hours to live. What are you gonna do? It's like, I'm gonna do every drug imaginable.
I'm not. I produce comedy podcasts and do video editing. I don't have a lot of skills. When the grid goes down.
But you look tasty, so there you go. You make a nice meal.
Die.
Don't poison yourself, and then you poison the others that
I
eat you.
want to take people out like that. That's how I'm going.
The blaze of poison glory.
I'm not trying to like make myself healthy for someone to eat me.
That's true.
See,
but the leaner you are, the less appetizing you are.
Ooh,
fair enough.
Well, there we go.
So then people won't want to eat you. Yeah.
Either way, I'm going out pretty quick on my own terms. I'm
going to just plump myself up, and then my family can eat me. Because they can run and carry
you're going through your bulking phase.
My bulking phase.
Bulking phase for the end days. For the hope that one day your kids, if it's the apocalypse, will become cannibals.
Yeah,
That's
and
lovely.
eat their mother.
That's very love. That's a lot of love right
I could write these novels.
You should.
We just have to make it like emotional enough that you're like, they made the right choice when they ate their mom there.
Is that or death? What do we pick? I'm like,
Okay, so yeah, I feel like the galaxy is so big, there has to be some. And if they come, it's because they need resources, or we are tasty, or something.
Yeah, I don't think they'd ever come. As much as I like the Star Trek idea that they would actually come in peace and we could all expand the universe and study it and travel the cosmos.
But that was made in the 60s.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's more like it's more like Independence Day than it is Star Trek.
I think so too. Yeah. And I also feel like if there are like life forms coming to visit now, but I'm told that's not true, it's actually teenagers who aren't supposed to be here, and they just like stole mom and dad's vehicle.
That would be the greatest irony of all.
I have teenage boys. This is I feel like if I'm noticing how beings
honestly,
work.
That feels too accurate.
It's like when you're not supposed to go to the old mansion.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, let's check out this backwater planet called Earth, these idiots. And it's like, all right, cool. And then they just bomb us for no reason. Like that probably will happen.
Okay. Have you, I love this. Okay. Have you ever ridden a unicycle?
No.
Do you know how to play an instrument?
No, sadly.
Do you have a Death Star Lego?
No.
Have you ever held a ferret?
Yes.
Tell.
A ferret?
A ferret.
Yeah. I knew somebody that had one, and I remember holding it. It was a cute little thing.
How old are you?
I was an adult by that point. It was like in college.
Okay. Well, that's still a kid.
Yeah. 18, you can go to jail, you can serve in the military.
This is true, but your front lobe is not developed.
It's definitely not developed.
Yeah, and you're not like, if I have this ferret, I'm not going to get a girlfriend.
Oh, no. Oh, that's where you're going with it. Oh, no. I didn't even think of that. No. I've seen South Park, though, so I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Have you ever had an aquarium?
And have I ever had an aquarium? As a kid, yes.
Okay. Do you know Morse code?
No, I do not.
Do you have a coin collection?
No.
Have you held a sword?
Yeah.
I bet in the military or just at Dragon Con?
Various times, like either military with a ceremonial sword or cosplaying. Yeah.
Do you have a cape?
Yes.
Absolutely, right?
Yes.
You probably have the best cape out of anyone I've asked this question to.
I'm a huge Superman geek, and so I have a Superman costume that I keep trying to update. So I'm always like this. I tell my wife, like, when it's a windy day, I'm like, this is great cape action weather. Solid.
I cannot top that.
Yeah,
I cannot top.
Great.
This is great cape weather.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to get the wind tunnels in downtown Dragon because the cape's kind of heavy, so I need some serious wind for it to kick up. But when those shots happen, it's like, oh, it's clutch. Sorry, I'm a geek. I'm now thinking about what's gonna happen this weekend.
So this is what's really fun for me though, because they're like a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a birthday party for a pet?
Yes, for our dog Dora.
And was this inspired by you or your wife?
My wife.
Okay,
all her.
Okay, then that's not quite fair. Did the pet have a costume?
Yes.
Have you brewed mead?
No, I haven't.
Do you like watching Jeopardy?
I used to.
Have you been to a Rush concert?
Yes.
Okay. You are a really fun combo.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
like one of my, this is really fun because you are the sweet spot where linear science fiction, reading, math, science, employable, nerd comes together with the dressing up, fantasy, cape weather nerd. So it creates a kind of person, I'm guessing this, that is, you're very like personable and easy to talk to.
Yeah.
You can understand hard things and communicate those easily to others. Yeah. So you're kind of using like both sides of your energy. You've got like this butch, clean, like working out.
I look like a jerk. I look like the Brad from the frat. I look like that douchebag. Like, I admit it, I look like that guy, especially when I'm clean shaven.
Resting jock face.
Jock face, yeah. Like when I'm clean shaven, especially, I definitely look like that.
Resting
guy.
bro face.
Resting bro face.
Yeah, but you have this soft side where you like to dress up and have fun with people and have camaraderie and go to your pet's dress up.
Yeah.
Birthday party.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much
thank you
coming
for having me. I appreciate
on
it.
my podcast. It's been lovely to have you.
It's been fun.
Do you want to tell people anything about where they can find you or see you? Or?
Well, I mean, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, but Jarmin_fitness is my handle. I used to post a lot of fitness related stuff, but then when I settled down, was getting married, I decided maybe I shouldn't post so many videos of me working out with my shirt off. So let me delete a lot of that and just focus on my family, which is, so if you want to see pictures of me with my family, that's about all you're going to get. And I usually post up every year all the books that I read or audiobooks I listen to. So that way people can have an idea of what they want to read or listen to.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really great. And then do you help people work out still at all on the side?
No, I decided decided when I closed down my business, and I moved into corporate insurance, I would try to have a few clients remotely, and then I just realized my heart wasn't in it anymore to teach. So
my husband has a coworker who's a physicist who does powerlifting.
Oh, wow.
And he has
he's like Newtons and force projection. Like he's like figuring out all that.
and then like, you know, like the knees and everything. But he has people come over early in the morning. And my husband,
really?
goes and works out over there too.
Oh, there you go.
Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Yay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.